All right, and we're live. Hi, everyone. Melody here, your Sweet Home Chamber of Commerce Marketing Manager, chatting with Ken Bronson. How you doing
Howdy.
today?
I'm doing all right.
Yeah.
Get all the bugs worked out here. So what are we going to talk about today?
Yeah, I'm curious, and I'm sure the community is too, for those who may not know the Senior Center that well or much about Linn Shuttle. Why don't you tell us a little bit about who you are and your role here?
Okay, I'm Ken Bronson. I'm the executive director for the Senior Citizens of Sweet Home Inc. That's the legal name of the Senior Center. But 99% of what I do is transportation. And this transportation, this started clear back in 1971 when the Senior Center had a van. And they started providing transportation around the Sweet Home area. Well, it's evolved a bit from since then. And no one else has taken up the void in the East County. So now the Linn Shuttle bus system, the Sweet Home Dial-A-Bus, and the Sweet Home Shopper, and the DD transportation systems all run out of this facility, the community center. It runs through the senior center. It's a private nonprofit that where it all started. But 99% of my job is transportation. So that's what I do.
Awesome. So, how long have you been in the community of Sweet Home?
I moved here 10 years ago, April. So a little over 10 years ago when I took this job. Prior to this, I was 29 years in wood products. That's where my background is in business and management. 29 years running wood products operations in companies. So it's a little bit different twist. So, but in 2008, when wood products took a huge nosedive in the business I was in, went away. I had revamp, update my degree, and I took this job at that time, and knowing nothing about a senior center and nothing about transportation, but I need a job, so but I know business, so that's what's taking place here. So
Very cool. So,
doing
you
a great
just
job. So
jumped right in, even
yeah,
without truly knowing.
it's people,
Yeah.
it's business.
Yeah.
Develop relationships, and work with your team, and build a great team, and it works. So
And you said you've been here over 10 years now.
yes.
What are some highlight moments of being here and being of service to the community and our seniors?
There's been a lot of them. First of all, let's go back a bit because the Linn Shuttle, that's the base of our system. When I started here 10 plus years ago, we had 4 routes a day, and we were running Monday through Friday. We from about 7 in the morning till about 4 in the afternoon. And my first week on the job, I took a ride on the bus and figure out just what's going on there, and it was absolutely jam packed, standing room only. And this college was in session at the time. This was April, and I said it was just kind of crazy, and I noticed, well, we have a bus back at the yard that's not being used, so that's the first thing I did. That very first week was let's just put another one in service. Let's take some of the pressure off. So it grew from there, and as we had the money and funds, because that was always tight, and we went from 4 routes a day to 6 routes a day, then to 7 routes a day. Then a year ago in July, when we started, we finally were able to access the STIF money, which is State Transportation Improvement Fund. That's that 1/10 of 1% that comes out of your paycheck each month for public transit. We were first able to start programs with that in July 2019. The first thing we did was start Saturday service on the shuttle. So now we run 6 routes a day on Saturdays. In August, we doubled the local shopper system here from 8 hours a day to 2 routes and 14 hours a day, starting at 6 in the morning, going till 8:30 at night. Then in September of last year, we took the shuttle from 7 routes a day, Monday through Friday, to 10 routes a day, and opened up. So we run from 6 in the morning till 10 at night. And so that opened up so you could take night classes at LBCC in the Albany or Lebanon campus and still get home, whether you lived in Albany, Lebanon, or Sweet Home.
Wow.
So those are the big pushes that we've done. Things have changed here with COVID, but I'm pleased how well we've been able to keep things going. Most transportation programs in the state and in the country have the ridership has just disappeared. The average is 10 to 12% of what they were.
Wow.
We're still running at, we compare to pre-COVID, on our shuttle, we're right at 45% of what we were. On our local shopper, we're at 65% of what we were. And our dial-a-bus that runs on a demand service, that's about 55%. So I'm pleased with the way those have held up.
What are some of the precautions that you're taking on the buses?
What are we doing?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm proud to announce this new system. We just got it Friday. We're installing it at this very moment. And it's a COVID, what's a COVID killer? It's a, COVID, of course, is a very small cell type of, I want to say bacteria. Am I getting that right? Is it bacteria or is it
a virus?
Virus, thank you. It's
Sure.
a virus. So viruses, if attacked in the right way, are relatively easy to kill because they're so small and stuff. So we're just installing it as we speak. Out of our partners, Anderson Automotive, they're helping install this right now. Where it's a spray system, where it sprays a mixed level into the interior of the bus, of course, when the bus is empty. And it takes 10 minutes to spray it in, 10 minutes for it to sit, 10 minutes to air it out. So in 30 minutes, we can decontaminate the entire bus, and it gets everything.
Wow.
This is
That's
really
cool.
good, really good. We are the first place in the state that has the one up and running. I found out about this
Amazing.
in May, late May, and yes, throwing a few sharp elbows and stuff, but we got the blessing of ODOT through the RFQ, request for quote, and we're the first one that get it put together. We're the first one to have one delivered. I know of 6 other transportation agencies that will be putting those in. We just got there first. But this is really important to protect our riders and our drivers. And what we'll do at the end of each day, we'll hook it up, and it's just like kind of like a snap-on. Hook up, pump it in, decontaminate that bus, and it's ready for service again the next day.
That is so neat.
So this is really cool.
Yeah.
And so other things we're doing, we built, this is another first, for our drivers, I got the idea with, you've got to block it, so we took shower curtains. I cleaned out Weimar and Hoy's of all the clear shower curtains there for a bit, and we built just an enclosure went around them with that. But that's a little hard to work with. But I got the idea, like if say you're going into a cooler room from a restaurant or something, they had those strips of plastic, heavy plastic that hangs down. I said, that's what we need. And so I found where we could get those, and we hooked up like a curtain, and it's up high, so you can't cough over and onto the driver. It's up high, and it encloses the entire driver with this barrier. And for the driver, if he or she needs to go through, they just put their arm through, move it, walk through it.
Nice.
So, but that's a protection for the drivers. So there's that shield, and then we've also gone in, and in the bus we've just marked out seats so we get the social distancing required for clean, spacing on the bus. So people get on the bus, it's marked out. That's got an X. You don't sit in that one. This is ribboned off, but at the same time, you can't sit right behind the driver. you got to give them that space. So
Right.
those three things: the COVID
Okay.
killer, protection for the driver,
Mhm.
and spacing within the bus. Those are the main things that we've done there.
That's really good
And
to know.
and a fourth thing,
Yeah.
rather than with a lot of transportation programs have cut their number of routes and their service, I look at it a little differently. People still have to get to work and get home.
Hmm.
So if we run from 6 in the morning till 10 at night, we're keeping that time frame. So we're still running the 10 routes. And by doing that, we have less congestion on the bus because there's a longer time frame that you can use it. And everybody can still get back and forth. And we also use, these are 37 passenger buses, some of them, the largest possible. So there's lots of room on the bus. So that's what we do.
That's great. You guys are a really good example of being creative in a not ideal situation and being really proactive with precautions and on the cutting edge of innovation when it comes to this. This is really neat.
That's the, I come from forced products. We don't sit around and wait for someone to tell us what to do. We say, oh, this is the situation, let's do it. Which has created a few problems because getting paid on time, because you got to deal with the state bureaucracy and the federal bureaucracy, and they can drag their feet. Well, they do that a lot, but but we get paid eventually. I think it all works.
Sure.
So, but I'm not going to let that restrict us.
Right.
It's easier to ask for forgiveness than permission oftentimes. So we get to that. But it's all up to code. So.
We do have one question that came in. What's the cost?
Cost of what?
For, I'm guessing they mean, to ride the bus.
Okay, yeah. $1. It's just $1.
It's hard to beat that.
So you can get from Sweet Home to Albany for $1.
Wow.
Yeah, it's public transit. It's not about how much money you make off the system. It's about providing access to those most in need.
Mm-hmm.
And when I do the reports each month, our bus fares, that's subtracted right from our revenue and the amount of dollars are available for our grants. So why not keep it at a level that benefits as many people as possible?
Right.
Now, some programs like Albany and Corvallis, they don't charge at all since COVID. Well, I have a little bit different thought on that. And what I don't want is just people using the bus as a sleeping quarters. Because you don't charge, then they just get on the bus and ride all over.
Oh.
And that's not where we're about public transit, not public lodging and sleeping. So it's $1. It's a little price.
It's amazing how $1 can separate that.
Exactly, because Albany has this problem of it's a rainy day and it's cold out. How do you get them off the bus? It's $1.
So you are stepping down half-time here, correct? You're moving into semi-retirement? Approximately.
Flex time, we'll put it.
Okay, cool.
I'm stepping down from the operations side because 65 years old. Yeah, I want to do other things.
You've earned it.
Like
add more trophies to the wall.
Whatever comes. We're going long. We're going for the big one, the Ironman. So.
And when is that?
September 11th.
And that's part of Best of the West, right?
Best in the West events is the 12th and the 13th out at Foster Lake. So I'm going to do my solo Iron on the 11th because I don't want to conflict with whatever Blair and Stacy are doing. Blair's my son.
Okay.
Best in the West. Stacy's his wife. They're the ones that started 10 years
ago.
Wow. So, pretty cool.
So neat.
Yeah. So we both started something here in Sweet Home about the same time. So.
Right on. Is there, let's see, make sure we covered all our bases. We talked about, I want to know more about your Shoppers program. What is that?
The Shopper bus is, we call it in bus language, a deviated fixed route. That means it's schedule up here for the chopper. There's a fixed time and fixed place will be at fixed time there.
Okay.
But we can deviate off that route because it's designed to shop Sweet Home. And we go up to Cascadia 3 times a day, 3 days a week on Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Oh, wow.
Yes, so that's one of those things. We started that about 3 years ago, and that was the thing. ODOT was that was the State Transportation Improvement Fund money, and we started it as soon as the legislators put it in. So I said, okay, there's a real need for that. It's going to be a requirement. We didn't have the money yet to run it, but I felt it was really important. So we started by going up and meeting with the people up in Cascadia, up at the church up there, and said, well, what do you need? What do you want here? And this is what we can do. And we come about with agreement. Yeah, we can do that. So we started going 2 days a week, 2 times a day. Then once we finally got some of the funding to come in to help with that, I said, well, that's really hard to use it efficiently if you have to hit those times. So that's where we changed it to 3 days a week, 3 times a day. So then you have more time if you're catching the morning route in to take care of your shopping, medical, whatever, and then be able to catch the last bus back up. So it's worked pretty well with that. But the shopper in town is just that, going on town. So let's say if you catch the shopper out at the other end of town, we'll just say out Foster Way, or better yet, off 49th or something, but that's not on the route, we'll deviate. So we'll just swing back by your house and drop you off with your stuff after you're shopping. So that's what the
Wow.
deviate. So we can just go off route. So change. So, and there's limitations. The feds, you can only do that once around. Blah 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 blah.
Where can people
I
go
don't
to
tell
find?
everybody, okay, we've already went off route once. We can't do that twice on the same route. No, we just
Gotcha.
make it happen. So
Very nice. Yeah. Where can people find the routes?
We have schedules at the buses.
Okay.
And it's online. www.linnshuttle.com. You'll find the shopper schedule on there. You'll find the shuttle schedule on there. And the shuttle schedule, where we're going on that, it's called a commuter route. It links the communities of Foster, Sweet Home, Lebanon, and Albany, with 4 stops in Sweet Home, 3 in Lebanon, and 5 in Albany. 5 on Saturdays, 4 the rest of the days.
Okay.
That little bit difference. On Saturdays, we go to the Costco, Kohl's, Winco commercial area. And we do that only on Saturdays because Albany doesn't have a bus running on Saturday that serves there.
Okay.
The rest of the days they do. So I just put that little twist in there so if anybody wants to go there to that area, you can get there on the bus on Saturdays.
I love that collaboration with neighboring communities. That's
Yeah.
really neat. And it sounds like the organization has done a lot for the community to remove barriers and create more opportunity.
Yes.
What are some ways that the community can give that back to you?
Ride the bus.
How can ride the bus?
Ride the bus.
Yeah.
Yeah, and all of our buses and vans are handicap accessible, so there's wheelchair lifts on all of them. We have the shopper bus. We designed that. We took seats out and we put racks in it, so you can actually be able to put your stuff in there and not all over. There's hooks and boxes up for be able to take your whatever you're shopping for. At Bi-Mart or Hoy's or Thriftway, Safeway if you're going to the clinic. And that's $1, but the different thing about the shopper is it's $1 in town, as many stops as you need.
Wow.
So, because we want people to shop in Sweet Home, so that's why it's that way. So you can make 5 stops Once you're on, you're on. I'll get you back home. If you do that in the morning, in the afternoon, you say, well, I want to go back down to Safeway and Thriftway. Well, that's another buck. So, but it's a pretty good deal. You can't beat that. So.
Awesome. Thank you so much for taking time to meet with me and share more about Linn Shuttle and the Senior Center. Is there anything else that you'd want to share?
Well, I want to share right now, because of COVID, the Senior Center's closed. But we're still serving lunch on Wednesdays on takeout. Meals on Wheels also serves out of the community center, but it's takeout only. They serve Mondays, Tuesdays, and Fridays. The senior center serves on Wednesdays. So still meals are accessible for the senior community. Our senior exercise program. That's one of the things that we miss the most our seniors, because it's not just exercise, it's social interaction. But it's the highest risk population. Until the gov says we can open that up, we can't open it, unfortunately. So we miss that. We miss all of our senior friends here. So. But that's what we're doing to keep it safe. So.
Sure. Yeah, and I'm sure we can all appreciate that. Absolutely.
And I'm working with the community. I had a conversation with the library today about after-hours education help. Will be looks like we're going to be using part of the building for that. So some hands-on help for community members, for their children. In the evenings, we're working with the Boys and Girls Club on the same thing during the day. So it's a community center. We provide transportation out of the community center, so it's all part of that here. So that's what we're doing.
So neat. Thank you again. And if any questions come up, anything that we didn't cover in this video that you want to know, feel free to leave us a comment. You can send me a message, or you can contact Ken himself before he leaves.
You can contact my office at 541-367-4775. Ask for anybody but Ken. You can ask if you
right, he'll be doing the Ironman.
But hey, I'm retiring in 10 days, so
yeah, we'll give you a break.
Part-time, so yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much, everyone. We'll catch you around.
Thanks for tuning in.